Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Redux What Ifs, and today we have a special What If. So, y'all already know, we did the poll, right? We did the poll. Hold on, let me turn this fan off. Bruh, loud ass fan, bruh. So, as y'all know, we did the poll for the for what if I should do next, right? And my channel has been dead, due to me, well, kind of dead, due to me not posting and life just life. And so I'm gonna just try to post or upload a what if, or probably 2 videos if I can, like every weekend, or when I could get to it on a weekend instead of trying to do it on a weekday. So every weekend I'm gonna just post a what if. So I was genuinely surprised that Mori X solo leveling got that many votes, bruh. Like, I'm honestly surprised. So we gonna do it like this. We gonna do it simple as that. Y'all asked for it, and y'all will get the demand. So this is going to be, what if Mori Jin was in, or my bad, Jin Mori was in solo leveling. Now you're probably wondering, how am I gonna manage to do this? And before we get into it, we was looking at the poll, bro. 82% of y'all that voted, y'all probably not even subscribed. So go ahead and hit that sub button for me, man. But 130 votes, and I'm pretty sure most of those votes were for God of High School and solo leveling. And then followed behind that was My Hero X Fate, and then the Avatar and what if Aang replaced Korra, and then we're gonna do the what if Deku was Jin Mori, basically. But I'm really excited to start this solo leveling what if, because I know there's some crazy ass fights. We could get Sun. What happens if Mori goes against the Ant King before he gets turned by Jin, or Mori versus Igris, or the other I forgot what they're called, the Monarchs and stuff. No, not the Monarchs, the Rulers, right? The Rulers, or the other Sins. Well, I call them Sins because that's pretty much what they are. So yeah, this is gonna be a brand new can of worms that we're opening. So this is what if Mori Jin was in solo leveling. And without any further ado, before we start, I would like to say that most things are gonna be canon. I'm just gonna be adding to the canon parts, but we already know this whole story is not canon, but I'm just trying to keep some of the canon elements. Like, for example, I was thinking about giving Mori a system, but then I was like, it really wouldn't be like, it would really be kind of, pointless, since, we got to make Sunjin Woo unique while making Mori unique at the same time too. So overall, I hope y'all enjoy this what if that I'm about to do. I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. Go tap in with the new video, what if Deku was a cultivator, because I kind of want to continue that series. I'm gonna do another episode of it, but if it doesn't go as good as I thought it was gonna be, then I'm gonna just drop it, and I'm gonna continue to do what if Jin Mori was in solo leveling. And I'm also gonna be bringing back what if what if Natsu was in Black Clover. We're just gonna pick up where we left off on that, because I got like a lot of recordings, but I just been busy with life and school and stuff, and trying to do everything that I can. But hopefully y'all enjoy the what ifs that I push out. I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. We are literally 2 subs away from 200, so I appreciate if we hit 200 before August ends. And without any further ado, I'm gonna let this intro play, and we're gonna get into the what if. Alright, so we start this what if off. We're gonna start this what if off in a high school. I was about to say high school DxD universe. I'm telling y'all, bro, it's a sign. Anyway, we're gonna start this what if off in the God of High School universe, and we're gonna say this is after the Ragnarok. You already know what happens. Munjin Park betrays Mori. He tries to seal him with the Holy Grail, but in doing so, as that happened, as he was using the Holy Grail, it got a huge surge of power from an unknown universe, which is going to be the solo leveling universe, right? So this is when Mori was trying to fight it, right? He was trying to fight the effects of his trying to drain his power, and he overcame it and actually was successful of keeping his powers. But in doing so, he sealed his own memories by accident, right? So when that happened, he passed out, and it created like this huge feedback loop that the Holy Grail made, and it started sucking everything in. And then this is where Mujin Park tried to finish Mori, but Taijin came in and killed him. He killed him, as eventually he will be. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be brought back to life in that universe. But for now, he is down for the count, as he actually, no, we're not gonna say he's down. He's severely injured, as he's telling he's basically Mujin's basically telling Taijin to come finish the job, don't be scared. And then that's when Taijin said it takes skill to attack somebody from behind and still fail, as he grabs Mori, and he was like, because he has a huge hole in his chest, so he was like, anywhere is better than here right now. And then that's when he tells all the people that was working with Mori Jin to don't let Mujin Park win, and they'll find a way. As this is where Taijin throws Mori in the portal, and this is where he jumps after him, and then that's where we're gonna say Mori leaves a clone in that universe. And so as he crosses universes, the portal closes and it shuts permanently, which now makes Mori Hu the next in line to replace Mori Jin, since he's cut off from that universe, right? So this is where we start the what if off, right? And before we get into episode 1, we're both gonna say that this is how it starts off. So we see two people in this desertous wasteland, right, fighting, bodies on top of bodies, as this is where we see somebody in a gray robe that has half the robe torn, and some of the gi on the leg parts are torn as well, right? And then we see the other one that has a sword and a dagger with golden aura radiating off of him, and the other person standing next to him has like this bluish black energy swirling around them, as he says that, as this is where Taijin says that, you think our boys are gonna be okay? And then that's when Sun Jin Woo's father says, he says, yeah, they'll be fine. We both know our boys are strong, but if they come together, nothing will be able to stop them. And then that's when it's both revealed that they both know each other, right? They both know each other, and they are fighting something right now, but we don't know what it is, right? And so this is where we zoom out from the room and we come back to episode 1, right? So episode 1 starts off normally, right? We know who Sun Jin Woo is, E rank hunter, the weakest hunter, right? And at that same note, we are introduced to Mori, who is currently going over his grandfather's teachings, practicing. He's just practicing making sure the dojo runs properly. Um, this is where pretty much everything goes to canon. He and it's basically going over who Sun Jin-woo is, how he goes on these, sometimes low rank missions and almost dies or gets close cutting to death, right? So one day, he, everything goes to canon. They decide to go in a double dungeon, right? And this is where, everything goes to canon pretty much with him. Basically everybody almost dying, or some of the people that he did know did die in the double dungeon event, right? So, excuse me. So after that happens, we're gonna move on to episode 2, where everything pretty much goes to canon. And that episode where where he basically, figures out they have to worship God and praise God to prove your faith, right? So this is where Sun Jin-woo basically tries to save everybody that he can, and people were able to get out from the dungeon. Song Chi-yu, right? Song Chi-yu figures out, and then Jo-hee escapes, right? And the other one, I forgot what his name was, but he survived. He survived, but his arm got permanently cut off, right? His arm got permanently cut off. And the healer girl that always healed Jin-woo when he was close to death was able to escape, and Jin-woo wasn't able to escape, so he offered himself. And in a rage, he cursed himself that he will never be this weak, even in the face of death. And this is where he becomes a player, and he accepts. While he accepts, this is where Mori looks at the notes that Taijin left him, to where once he gets like a certain age, he will go to the registration center and register. And surprisingly, he's an E rank, but he's really not an E rank though. He's not, because he's not using his martial arts to the fullest potential yet, right? Actually, no. We're gonna make him we're gonna say he's a C rank, right? He got C rank, even though he's a lot stronger than what the rank is saying. You already know how Mori Jin works in God of High School, right? So after that, he goes home and he begins to train, as he was wondering how he could boost his how he could boost his power like his grandfather does, and what he's shown him what he could do, as he's seen him fight monsters with nothing but pure martial arts and energy. So he was wondering if he had the same abilities as his grandfather, right? He would be able to, mimic those abilities. So that's what he starts doing. He starts training to be like his grandfather, and we're gonna say that will work for a while, but it will come back to him eventually. So he begins to train, himself, and this is where, as that happens, we flip back to Sun Jin-woo waking up, and this is where he wakes up 3 days later in the hospital, and this is where he basically gets caught up on what happened, right? So Jo-hee is traumatized, and Song lost his arm, and he's gonna retire as well as Jo-hee is retiring due to trauma, right? So this is when they were questioning him about what happened in the double dungeon, because it's rare for people to have a second awakening, and this is where they wanted to test him, and the results still come back as E rank on paper, which they were basically surprised how an E rank survived that. But in all, he just got really lucky, as they say. So the system comes to life, and it's basically like the same old push-ups, sit-ups, running, and he had a harsh penalty for not participating, and this is where he gets thrown into the deadly desert, and he starts running for his life against that giant centipede. So he starts receiving quests and getting stronger, right? So he gets stronger, and this is where he starts to get more powerful, and then he pretty much everything goes to canon for that episode. We're on episode 3, if y'all didn't know. And he fights the wolf, a stronger wolf that he ever fought in before, and he is surprised that he beat the wolf, right? So now we move on to episode 4, where Jin kills the wolf. We come back to where Jin is killing the wolf, and he continues to clear the dungeon, growing stronger with each fight, and he defeats the dungeon boss, right? So while this is happening, this is where Mori gets worried, because it's been like 5 years since he's seen his grandfather. So now he's gonna go on a mission to get stronger and potentially find him to see what happened to him, or wonder why he didn't at least like leave a message or something, instead of just instead of saying that he was gonna leave and never came back. So this is where Mori starts going on missions with other guilds, right? Other guilds and members. And Mori has like a reputation for fighting below his weight class and still beating monsters, right? Because he has mana, but it's not like in a traditional sense. Like he can't use like blast. He can use like elemental or like kicks. It's basically like they basically think that his power is like to reinforce his body, but Mori goes with that since he doesn't even know himself. So he starts getting stronger as well, and he starts going on different missions with different guilds. If they need extra manpower or people to carry extra stuff, that's basically what he does, right? And so this is where he goes to school like normal. Mori goes to school, and Sun Jin-woo goes to school, and unknowingly they used to be childhood friends, but they moved away. So as they were walking, this is where they meet. As they were walking, they met up. It was basically like they walked next to each other, and they both looked at each other and nodded Mori nods, and then Jin nods, and then they keep going about their day, right? And so this is where everything goes to canon as that. What else happens? And then this is where the monster that broke out of Sun Jin-woo's dungeon is nearby, and it starts causing havoc to the city, right? And so this is where Mori was practicing with his staff, right? He was practicing with his staff, and this is where he basically is practicing, and this staff is made of like special metal. Like it's really extremely durable, and it's durable. It can be broken, but it has to take like real blunt force trauma, or you have to be like a strong A to S rank. Even a high B rank scratching up to the A surface can break it, but relatively it's pretty hard to break. And this is where Sun Jin-woo takes his sword like he does in canon, lines the shot up and throws it, right? So he throws it, and it clips the monster that escaped from his dungeon. But at that same time, this is where Mori was like, I wanted to practice this move that I see my that grandfather did. As he takes it and he lines the shot up, he was like, I don't know if I could shoot it from that far, but we'll see. As he kicks he throws the staff up, right? And then this is where he balances it on his foot, and then he widens his foot out, and then he flips it with his foot again, and then that's when he does renewal. Morigin original railgun, and he kicks the staff, right, which pierces through the monster's core, while Sun Jin Woo's sword was able to hit him at the same time. So now everybody was wondering what mysterious hunter helped, and because there's two weapons that were there, a broken sword and a spear, not a spear, a staff that nobody knows where it came from, right? So this is where they officially meet, right? So we go to episode 5 where Jin picks up a C rank job. How it goes in canon, but they were missing one more slot. Gino was there to fill up since he has since he basically has expensive gear, because his dad works for he has his own company, so he's able to get more expensive gear, right? So as he was doing that, this is where Mori was he walks up and he was like, "Sorry I was late, guys. There was a dungeon that opened up not too long ago, but I couldn't get through because they had the area blocked off. But I'm here and I'm ready to start the mining work, right?" So this is where everybody was they were ready to go, and that's when they first walk into the dungeon, right? So everything goes as canon as the contractor says that Jin doesn't have to fight and he gets no combat drops. And Jin was okay with this, because he was already he wasn't expecting anything really. And so this is where they start to clear the first wave of ants, and everything pretty much, they start to mine all the crystals that were in there, right? I think it was mana crystals, I believe. So they mine all the crystals that they found, right? And this is where what is it? This is where they see a boss room where the giant sleeping spider was sitting on a massive hall of mono crystals that they were trying to get to, right? And then this is where Gino points out that the crystals aren't, combat drops, because, they're just crystals. Anybody could come in here and mine it. So he says him and Jinwoo, along with the other person, they didn't get his name yet, should get, a full share too. This is where the guy reveals their real plan, as he says, okay, they're right. And that's when as they were basically getting ready to mine, that's when the party betrays them and sets off explosives, sealing the only way to get out, right? They sealed the only way to get out. And that's when he revealed this plan to have the spider wake up and kill all three of them, and while the spider sleeps, they take the mana crystals for themselves, right? And so that's when Gino gets scared inside the boss room, as he's saying, "We're gonna die." And then that's when he was like, "How could you stay so calm during this? You're an E rank and I'm a D rank, and even with all this expensive gear, we're still gonna die." He said it would be a miracle if we came out of alive. And then that's when Jinwoo was like, "If you could keep a secret, I'll save you." And then that's when that's pretty much where all the that's pretty much with everything going to canon. We go to the next episode, which Jinwoo fights the spider. As the spider lunges, and Jinwoo uses his speed to blitz around it and tries to stab it, but he realized that his weapons that he uses didn't have enough. It's basically not durable enough, and it's not scratching the surface, so he has to try another plan, right? So this is where he improvises, and that's when he gets a new dagger that is able to pierce through the armor of the spider. And as he was doing it, the spider hits him with this long leg, and as Jinwoo was about to get pierced by get impaled by the spider's other long leg, that's when Mori Jin speed blitzes. He speed blitzes. Like even Jinwoo couldn't, catch his movement for a second, as as Mori says, renew taekwondo. What is it? He does the axe kick, and it basically his kick cuts the leg off, right? Cuts the leg off, and then he kicks the leg that was cut off away, right? And it flings into a nearby wall, making an exit for them to escape, right? And then that's when Jinwoo was like, you're not an E rank. He was like, no, I'm a C rank, but it really doesn't matter. He was like, I'd never seen anything like that. He was like, you shouldn't be able to, kick a leg like that, let alone have crazy movements like that. And he was like, my uncle, no, that's my bad. This is when Mori was like, he was like, my grandfather taught me some pretty crazy things, but are we going to sit here and fight and watch this spider try to kill us, or are we going to take care of the spider, right? And so this is where they both team up, as he was like, as Jinwoo said, you have any ideas? And then that's when Mori was like, I have a simple one. We attack, defend, and attack till we win. And then that's when Jinwoo, smirks a little and even laughs, as he was like, that's probably the best idea I've heard all day. And then that's when they both stand next to each other, right? They both stand next to each other. And then that's when they started radiating their own energy. So Sun's radiating the darkish purple aura, as Mori Jin was radiating like this darkish yellow white aura, right? His Monkey King energy, right? That he doesn't know about, obviously, but we're just giving theatrics, they're going aura for aura right now, right? So this is where they both speed blitz, right? And then they both split, right? And then they come back to the spiders each side, and the spider tries his best to defend as it shoots poison, right? And then this is where Mori gets down into the stance as he dodges the first wave of poison, and then for the second one, he gets into the Kyoshin karate stance, as he says as he basically says he does the technique as fast as he could, so he could get ready for the wave of the blue dragon, as he sits down, right? And then that's when he crouches, and then this is where he does the hand movements as the poison circular basically goes in circles around him. He's basically controlling the poison with the inner energy that he has from the kinetic energy that he was moving with, right? And so this is where he comes back, as he says, wave of the blue dragon, and then it's like a spiritual dragon that comes out covered in poison, in the spider's poison, and he shoots it back at him, which creates like this huge shock wave that's going towards the spider, which knocks it off, and it got the poison in the spider's eye. So now the spider is fighting partially blind, as Sun Jinwoo was able to get under the belly, and then that's when he was able to drive the he was basically able to drive the dagger through the underbelly of the spider, which still wouldn't put the spider down, as he starts stabbing over and over again, which is starting to make the spider bleed. As that's when basically Mori said, hey, can I use this sword real quick? And then that's when Gino tossed it to him, and then that's when he twirled the sword around, and he was like, it's not a katana, but it'll do. And so this is where he, speed blitzes again, right? And then the spider tries to, use the remaining of his strength to try to web up Mori Jin, to prevent it from, to prevent Mori Jin from killing the spider, right? So the spider, shoots the web as Mori, dodges, and then this is where he said, wolf, what is it called? Not Wolfgang. It's called Wolfang. It's not Wolfang, but mirror sword style. He uses mirror sword style, as he says, first form, what is it? He says, vertical slash, right? And he slashes vertical, and the web splits perfectly, as the spider tries to use his legs to block the attack. Where this is where he slices clean through, right? Clean through, as the spider is now it's kind of like limping a little bit, so it's using his strong legs while trying to let the other legs that got cut off heal. And then that's when Mori throws the sword at Jin, as he yells, "Jin, finish it!" And then this is where Jin grabs the sword, and then that's when he gives a huge swing, killing the spider and decapitating it. And they got drop items, and they leveled up. Well, Jin leveled up from the spider being killed, right? And so after the spider got killed, right, this is where he gets a mission to. This is where Jin gets a mission to kill the traitors that tried to kill him, right? So this is where This is where they begin to exit, as they mined all the crystals that were in there, or as much as they could carry. And that's when they try to they run into him, right? That's when they run into him, right? And this is where Mori was the first one to speak. No, Gino was the first one to speak, and he was basically saying, how dare you leave us? And then that's when the leader was basically saying that, they were weak, and it was more of them leaving dead weight behind, because they were going to do nothing but slow them down. As Don Suk was saying that he should have, if they would have known there would have been some fakers on his team, they would have never done that. But it's too late now, so we're already a higher rank than you. You might as well just give up and let us give you a merciful death, right? And then this is where Mori was like, that's not gonna happen. And then that's when they walk up to Sun, right? That's when they walk up to Sun, and everything goes to canon with that part. Sun decapitates bro, right? He clean slices his head off. And then that's when his team begins to attack. With Mori was like, this is where Mori was like, he said, I never killed anybody, but in a self-defense case, I'm not against it. And then that's when one of his goons tried to shoot a fireball, right? And then this is where Mori saw what his grandfather did one time, and he basically mimics his move, as he says, Renewal Taekwondo Mach Punch, which basically makes him punch so fast that it's like supersonic waves hitting you. And bro literally got concussed to death with the sonic waves hitting him. So he got punched like boom in the face, neck, jaw, stomach, and he was going as fast as he could, right? And then that's when he literally got concussed to death by the sonic booms, right? And then that's when everybody started panic attacking. He was like, it couldn't be. How can you kill members of our own team? And then that's when Mori was like, is that what you were thinking of us when you first decided to try to kill us first? And then that's when Mori uses like a Renewal Taekwondo chop, which severs his arm off completely, right? And that's when he uses the 1-inch punch to punch him through the wall, leaving him there to bleed out, because he's already doing more than enough. And then that's when Mori was like, I'll let you handle the rest. He left Jinwoo. Mori left Jinwoo, the rest of them, and he pretty much killed everybody, which Don Suk was begging for forgiveness. And then that's when the last thing he sees is Sun Jinwoo with those cold eyes. And then in the corner he looks at Mori, that's just kneeling. Well, not kneeling, he's like he's like squatting on both feet as he sees Mori's eyes like glowing like a brightish yellow. And then that's when it's like this overarching shadow of both of them. And then he was like, you guys are monsters. And that's when that's basically where Sun Jinwoo finishes him off and they complete the dungeon, right? So after they complete the dungeon, we're gonna go to the this is where they ask what happened, and this is where Jino, Mori, and Sung Jin-woo said that the monsters killed the others as a cover story, as he was basically they basically covered up what they did, right, or what really happened, right? And we fade to black. Now we start this next episode 7, with Mori waking up, and Jinwoo really doesn't text or call anybody, but Gino got both of their information, and that's when he decides to call both of them. So Mori gets up, puts on his usual fit, and then that's where he felt like taking a staff today, so he grabs his staff, and then he walks around on it like he's on some Sun Wukong, Black Myth Wukong, Monkey King shit, which technically is kind of on that. So he pulls up, Jin shows up 10 minutes later, and then this is where Jin he offers a building to Jin and Mori in exchange for help meeting guild certification so he could run his own guild. This is where Jinwoo turns it down, and Mori was like, I'm not in the business of trying to, get in a guild right now. I still have other things to do, and I need to get stronger to find what happened to my grandfather. So I will politely decline. And so this is where he begins to Jinwoo begins to have more daily quests that keep maxing out, and this is where he gets another instant dungeon key, and it leads him to a S rank area that contains ingredients for the potion that he is trying to, that he could cure his mother with. So everything goes to canon. He enters and faces the Cerberus that nearly kills him repeatedly before he finally wins. How that fight goes canon. He almost dies again and again and again before he can finally wins. And then that's when he gets the key to the castle beyond, but he decides he's not strong enough and he will return later at a time, promising to return. This is while that happens, this is where Mori is, walking, going grocery shopping, and as he was walking towards his estate that's in the mountains, he noticed that he's being followed by association agents that try to attack him, but Mori is able to beat him. He doesn't kill him, but he gives him a message to, stop following him, or he won't be as merciful as he was before, as he uses the pressure point to permanently disable a feeling in their arm, and only a A rank healer or a high B rank healer can heal that level of nervousness, that level of nerve damage that Mori did. So this is where his brother, Don-suk's brother, begins to ask around what really happened in the dungeon. And this is where he gets the story, and he found out that Jinwoo, Gino, and Mori were the last person to see his brother, and he blames them, and he swears revenge to get on them, right? So this is where we fade to black, as Mori gets an overarching feeling that something is coming for him, but he doesn't know exactly what it is. So he just shrugs it off, puts his staff down, gets his sleeping headband that he usually has on, and goes to sleep. As he has this there's this mural and that's where Yue is actually at. And then this is where he comes to talk to his grandfather, because his grandfather was like right there. Well, not right there, but this is where his grandfather used to hang out around a lot. That staff that is unliftable, only his grandfather can lift it. And then this is where he has a flashback saying whenever Mori is ready to lift it, it will lift, but no one can hold the burden of the staff until they are ready. As he says, see, he has a flashback as he drops the staff in it. He creates this huge crater because it weighs so much. And so that's when he begins to reminisce about everything that his grandfather taught him. And then that's when Mori promises that he'll get stronger than even him to come rescue him if he's in a dangerous situation, or at least figure out what happened and why he hasn't came back in almost 5 years, right? So we go to the next episode, right? Next episode, episode 8, where he visits his mother and Jinwoo visits his mom, and he vows to get stronger. As he's saying, he talks to her about his day. He said that he's like, hey mom, a lot has happened. Gina is okay. I'm taking good care of her like you would want me to. I'm really close to carrying you. I just need to get a little bit stronger. I'm almost there. And once I get there, I promise I will bring you back, and we can have our favorite dinners and, talk about anything. I know I wasn't very vocal about things, but I won't make the same mistakes again, Mom. I promise I'll be more open and just be there for you like Dad was. And so with that resolved, this is where he feels like he's strong enough to obtain the remaining ingredients to get the potions, which he accepts. Gino offers to help form a guild, right? So for him, this is where Jinwoo listens, and Gino basically explains, he has to meet the party requirements for a C rank gate. The association pulls together a group of individuals that includes most of the double dungeon survivors that I don't know how he was able to do it, but he did it. So Juhee, Sung Kim, Sang Kang, Kim, and Sang Hik, I don't know how to pronounce it, and Kang Jihul, plus 3 imprisoned hunters served as which they have reduced sentences under the watch of the assassin Kang Taesik, which nobody knows he's an assassin, right? So this is where Jin said that he has a person in mind that he can help, that he thinks that he doesn't mind filling in. And so this is where Jinwoo calls Mori, right? He calls Mori, and he basically tells him that he's joined a guild with Genos, and he wants to know if Mori would be interested in joining. And then that's when Mori was like, if it took you to join, either something is going on or you feel bad for the kid. But I guess, he said there's nothing wrong with joining a guild. He could probably make some friends. And he's starting to, Mori said that, Jinwoo is starting to grow on him. Maybe one day they may be able to spar and see who's really the strongest. And Jinwoo was like, I would like that one day. He said, but we're about to go on a mission, so just get here when you can. And that's when Mori was like, all right, I'll be on my way. And so this is where they have a briefing for the C rank gate, and that's where they go through with Mori catching up at the last second. And then that's when Jinwoo was like, fashionably late. He was like, that's becoming your style. He said, "You're not trying to get any cool points, trying to steal my cool points, are you?" And then that's when Mori was like, "Cool points? I am the cool points. Or we can have a contest of going for cool points for cool points." And then that's when Jinwoo was like, "You'll never out-aura me." You know what? I'm just saying that. They're basically over here trying to go aura for aura right now, right? But anyway, a tangent aside, we proceed to go into the dungeon, right? They go in the dungeon, the group splits up. There's a three-way fork that splits up. Kang, bribed by the fathers of one of the prisoners, goes, and then that's when Mori follows, as he was like, "I'll go with him," right? And then this is where excuse me. This is where Jinwoo was not Jinwoo. Jinwoo goes with Juhi and Song, right? And so as they were going through the as they were going through the dungeon, right? Mori saw some treasure, like some mana crystals, and he was like, "This will fetch an amazing price." And then that's when he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get these crystals, right? I'll be back," right? And so that's where he goes off, because he didn't know he was an assassin. So this is where everything goes to canon. He kills kills them to cover it up. He kills them, right? And then as Mori comes back, he sees the bodies, right? And then that's when he was using his ability, total invisibility, right? And then that's when he was about to strike Mori, as Mori dodged out the way at the last second. And then that's when Mori does a quick roundhouse kick to his stomach, which he blocks. And then that's when he was basically he said you saw through my technique. He was like, "I'm totally invisible. You can't hear my footsteps, my smell. You can't trace anything of me. How did you know that I was there?" And then that's when he said, "For somebody who has total invisibility, you don't know how to hide your killing intent." And then that's when they begin to I can't even think right now, my bad. That's when he says, "You have some pretty good skills, but I'm a B rank, and you're a low C rank, mid C rank at best." He said, "Even if we fight to the death, I'm still gonna win." And then that's when Mori takes out his staff, and he was like, "You want to bet your life on that? Because you just killed 2 prisoners, and I have every reason to kill you right now in self-defense." And then that's when he began to smirk evilly, and he was like, "You kill me? I'm a master assassin." And that's when he takes out his dagger. He was like, "I love to see you try." And that's when they both speed towards each other and clash weapons, with him grabbing the weapon, and then he sliced down and then faked an upward slash to a side, which Mori dodges, and then he blocks and parries with his staff. As he twirls the staff and then jabs it, right? He thrust it towards him, and this is where he blocks with the dagger, which pushes him back. And then that's when he thinks to himself, this kid's staff technique is anything it's anything I've ever seen. It's unlike anything he's ever seen. As he was like, if he didn't block that probably would have been enough to pierce him, or do some heavy damage to him. And then that's when Mori was like, "What's wrong? You're scared?" He was like, I barely even begun to fight." And then that's when he basically jumps side to side, and then that's where he almost disappears from his vision, which he was able to catch up at the last second, which Mori swiped up the staff, as he bent it, and then it flicked up, right? It flicked up, flicking up dirt, right? Which blinded him for a little bit. And then that's when Mori spins the staff, right? And then that's when he thrusts it, which he dodges out the way, but but it shoots like compressed air, or it makes like a huge like shock wave of what he missed, right? And then this is where he swiped. This is where the assassin swipes down, right? He swipes down on it. He swipes down at Mori's hand, but at the last second, Mori lets go of the staff, and then that's where he picks up the staff and throws it near a wall, right? So he couldn't get the staff again. And then that's when Mori was like, "Your dagger is poisoned, isn't it?" He was like, "I'm glad you were able to tell." He was like, "If you get stabbed by this, it paralyzes you, and it poisons you from the inside out. So even if you're able to resist poison, you won't be able to resist the paralysis effect. It will take a hold, and the poison will take a hold eventually through repeated stabbings or cuts from it." So this is where he said it's over now. And then that's when they begin to clash, right? So Mori's over here playing on the defensive, right? He's playing on the defensive because he's not trying to get cut by that. He's not trying to get cut by it, right? So he dodges, and this is where Sun Jin Woo comes and sees Mori and him fighting, and Jin Woo was able to pick up what was going on immediately as he saw the dead bodies. And then this is where he goes invisible, right? And then this is where Mori gets slightly cut, and then it paralyzes him. But the poison is taking effect. But due to his Monkey King powers, it's extremely hard to poison him. So it's really the paralysis that's taking effect. And he's like, I can't move. And then that's when he begins to laugh and say that, the paralysis and the poison is already taking effect. But it seems like he's a little bit more resistant to the poison. And then that's when Mori tried to channel his inner power to break out of the paralysis, as he was like, it's over. And then that's when Mori broke out of it at the last second, right? And as he was about to stab him, right, this is where Mori leans forward and gives a front kick, right? And then this is where he says front kick of the flaming phoenix, right? And then that's where his foot catches on fire, right? And then it shoots like a bird at the same time, and he kicks him in the gut, which has him flying back, and it causes an explosion, right? And then that's when everything pretty much begins to go to canon, with Jin Woo figuring out what happened, and then Jin Mori and Jin Woo begin to fight him, which is becoming a 2v1, which he's losing. It's bad enough he's fighting Mori Jin, but you go fight Sun Jin Woo, and then this is where he decided to go after Ju-hee, right? The healer, right? And then that's when Jin Woo protected her at the last second, right? And he kind of took the stabbing, but since he's immune to poisons, I think he's immune to poisons at this point. So the paralysis didn't work since he's immune to poisons, right? And so this is where Jin Woo he turns his attention to Mori back, right? And then that's when he turns attention to the old man, right? The old man that was there, I forgot. So that's when he was like, I'll just kill him instead. And then that's when Mori intercepted him, right? And then did renewal taekwondo, the triple kicks. He does the triple kicks, and as he was about to try to swing Mori, try to put the dagger through Mori's neck, right? He tried to put the dagger through Mori's neck, and then this is where Mori caught it with 2 fingers as he was holding it, and then he was like, "You're really troublesome. I might have to retreat." And then that's when Mori was like, "Oh, I'm not the one that you should be worried about. You should be worried about him." As he looked, right, you could see Jin Woo getting ready to use what was it called? Ruler's Domain? I think that's what it's called, Ruler's Domain. And so that's when Mori said, "Ultimate Guardian Basic. basic punch. And so that's where all that concussed energy that was swirling around him fired into like a, like an explosion onto the assassin, which he catches himself. And then this is where everything pretty much goes to canon with the his with Jinwoo and the assassins fighting each other, right? So they begin to fight each other, and he uses ruler's domain, and then that's when the assassin gets stabbed by Jinwoo in canon. And this is where he has the monologue saying that you're not an E rank, he said you were hiding your power the whole time. And he was like, I never experienced such coldness like that, but you're worse than me. And then that's where he dropped the weak act and he reveals his power. And that's where we leave that off. Pretty much Jinwoo saves them. Jinwoo and Mori saves everybody. He was able to heal Song's arm, right? He was able to heal Song's arm as he uses pressure points to alleviate the pain, right? That's what Mori does. And then that's when the association asked like what happened and everything, Song claims responsibility for the death of the assassin to protect Jinwoo, right? And so this is where Juhi also tells Jinwoo she's retiring from hunting, and she always had feelings for him or something like that. And then that's when she tried to plead Jinwoo to stop hunting because he might get hurt again. And that's when Jinwoo said, I promise that he basically said that he promises he won't get hurt because he's not the same person that she knew all those years ago. Things have changed. And plus this is something that he wants to do. But he said that if she ever needs anything, he won't be far, right? And that's where I'm gonna be leaving this what if off right here. I know it was a lot. I literally covered 10 episodes in one go. Literally almost 10 episodes in one go. We're almost completely done with season 1, man. Because then we got episode 11 and episode 12 where he goes to Igris and fights Igris. Now, if y'all, I'm still trying to keep the canon. I don't know if y'all want to see a Mori and Sun Jinwoo team up against Igris and fight. So y'all just let me know what y'all want in the comments. I hope y'all enjoyed this what if. I'm pretty much enjoying this what if so far. I'm liking what I'm doing with the characters. I'm trying to keep the story canon, keep Jin Mori powerful as he is as well, with Jinwoo still being Jinwoo, if that makes sense. So I appreciate y'all for all the love and support y'all been showing me, man. And make sure y'all check out the recent video that I put up, what if Deku was a cultivator. I will be dropping another episode on that as well. And then I will be dropping what if Deku was Mori Jin. Hope y'all really enjoy these what ifs I'm about to drop. Just stay tuned because I feel like the weekends work a lot better for me with posting, and because I know I've been all over the place, and I'm trying to work on that and be better so I can have my channel actually flourish, right? Because your boy has been a little rusty a little bit, so I'm trying to fix that. So I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. Make sure y'all run up those videos, run up that Deku cultivation Deku, and make sure y'all check out my new my other video I posted, which continues what if Superman was invincible. I saw Q Kane about to do what if Superman was invincible too. I don't know if he got inspired by your boy, but hey, I would like to see his take. I feel like, well, I'm not the first one that did what if Superman wasn't invincible, but I did have my own take on it, and I feel like it's pretty unique. So hey, just let me know. And Q Kane, if you hearing this, bruh, your work is amazing. We should collab sometime, bruh. hit up Q Kane so we could collab sometime. I got some interesting ideas for any universes, and I wanted to dabble in the Fate ReZero universe. So hit me up, let me know. But other than that, I appreciate y'all for all the love and support y'all been showing me. I might go live next weekend. We might do a live what if. I know there's a lot of what ifs I need to get back on, and I will be getting that too. So just work with me. I will be getting back what if Miles was in Spectacular Spider-Man, or what if you replace Peter from Spectacular Spider-Man, as well as what if Natsu was in Black Clover, because that was a banger series. I feel like that was a banger series. I feel like y'all fuck with that for real. And then we're gonna finish what if Superman was invincible with the Thrag arc. So we got the first 2 Thrag fights, I believe it was 2 Thrag fights, and no, the first Thrag fight, and then when he comes to Earth, right? So we got that along with some other what ifs that I'm cooking up. So y'all gonna be eating good before this year ends. So I hope y'all enjoyed this what if, man. I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. Make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe. I'm always active on my YouTube channel and in the community post. So if y'all got some feedback, let me know. Let me know. Please let me know. And other than that, man, this is a very good community I am very appreciative of, that I built. And, you know, I just fuck with everybody on the team, bro. So this is going to be the end of the 1-hour special series, part 1, season 1 of what if Jin Mori was in Solo Leveling. And this is Redux What Ifs signing off. Peace out.